I'm Gab, he's Jules. Blue skies over West London. Jules, this is it. Euro 2024 kicks off on Friday. This is our Euro 2024 high-level bird's-eye view preview. We're going to rattle through all the groups. We'll try to be as efficient as we can, give you a flavor in case you haven't paid attention to Romania at all.
Exactly.
As some people may have.
Yeah.
Let's start Group A, which is Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. Obviously, Germany hosting the Euros. They were way down on Nagelsmann. They were all grumpy sort of 6 months ago. I kind of feel, well, there's still some questions, especially at the back. Let's face it, Rudiger aside, and left back, Henriks. I think they're picking up a little. They're like, hey, look, we're at home. We can do this. We have some good players.
Yeah, it's looking better. Certainly the last few results, well, the March international break, they did really well because they beat the Dutch and they beat the French, and the French quite convincingly too in France. That was really good with great performances from Musiala and Wirtz in the two inside 10.
Which they'll be doing again.
You would expect. We kind of know that team pretty much.
The best on earth will be up front.
Kai Havertz will be up front, yeah. Maybe there's a bit of tension. There was a Rudiger Fulkrug little fight at training yesterday, which I think did acquire a lot of headlines. And I'm still not too convinced by Ilkay Gundogan's position as a 10, which means that Wirtz and Musiala have to be, as we said, like 10s that play a bit wider and have to come inside. Because I'm not sure that works. But the game changer is Toni Kroos coming back for this competition, for sure.
I know we always say this, but international football different. You don't have time to work on things to find the right tactical balance. You kind of have to do it on the fly. The other clear favorites in the group, I'm not going to bother asking you. For a second, I know you probably not what you want to hear. I kind of have Switzerland here. The thinking being is they often go far in tournaments. Murat Yakin has been there a while. It's one of those national teams that feels a little more like a club team. There's so many veterans proven. Remo Freuler, Xhaka, Shaqiri, and then up front you've got two speedy guys in Okafor and Breel Mbolo. And if they show up, maybe
yeah, maybe. I mean, Mbolo hasn't played for like 95% of the season because of his ACL injury.
So he's well rested now, but he's back.
Yeah, but not sure that's ideal either. Okafor hasn't played much for Milan too. Vargas is a really good player. I just wonder if the lack of a proper goal scorer could hint. Maybe not. I think they will go through.
We have them going
through. They'll finish second or third. There's no doubt. But after that, maybe a little bit more. Scotland have a similar problem. They don't have a finisher. They don't have a 9. Dykes is injured.
And also it's Lyndon Dykes who's injured, not Robert Lewandowski.
They will have Conway and Shankland, and that's not great. But they could be strong in midfield. Certainly defensively, they've conceded 21 goals in the last 9 games. So
Hungary this time around, I mean, they surprised us in the past. This time around, they do feel a little bit there for the ride, other than Dominic Szoboszlai. Obviously, they'll be relying on all those guys dressed in black behind the goal to cheer on the team. But no, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. It's Scotland and Switzerland for me for second place, with Switzerland favored. Group B, Croatia, Italy, Albania, and Spain. You're not allowed to say G of D because we don't like that, because that's stupid. Like that.
It's the toughest group with the French one.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to start from the bottom here, because Albania, we love Silvino, we love Zabaleta.
Yeah.
I just don't really see the talent there. You never look past them. Okay, don't look past them, but the other 3 teams are stronger.
Yeah,
okay,
massively. But I don't think it'd be easy to face Albania at all.
Let's talk defending champions here. I've talked about them endlessly. How do you see them?
I'm not too confident. I won't lie, and you won't like hearing that. I'm not too optimistic. I think...
Why? It vindicates what I believe.
Well, we don't know about Barella's fitness to start with, and I think a team without Barella is a very different team than the one with Barella, even if Fratesi scored a really good goal the other night, the winning goal. I thought they were not very good the other night. I thought Donnarumma had to make 2 really good saves. And 0-0. Defensively, I'm not sure how strong they are or how strong they can be. So I think there's still enough talent in that team to certainly qualify for the knockout session and then see and maybe be difficult to play against.
I think they're very solid defensively. My issue, of course, as I mentioned before, is up front, where Scamacca, can he get the consistency, and can Chiesa actually be fit? Beyond that, you're in a world of Zaccanis and Retegis, and that's not a place you want to be. Spain, there's so much talent. But then I was telling myself, maybe I'm just trying to reassure myself, okay, there's a lot of talent, but Morata hasn't scored much in the last 6 months. Beyond that, it's Joselu. At the back, you've got the French imports, Lenormand and Laporte, and the old guy, Nacho. I don't know. Midfield, even the midfield, which seems so scary, once you get past Rodri and Pedri, I might. Still they're better than Italy's midfield, but
still very good. No, I don't know. I
think they'll win the group, but I'm saying is they can't take anything for granted.
No, my question mark is really over De La Fuente. I'm not sure. And again, in this tournament, they are either the very experienced head coaches like Martinez, like Deschamps, like Southgate, and then the ones who might have been great at club level, Nagelsmann, Spalletti. And then people like De La Fuente, you don't know how all of them are going to react. They've never been to a tournament like this before. Okay, Spain and De La Fuente have won the Nations League, but it's not a tournament like this. How do they...
I think, hasn't he won stuff at under 21?
I'm talking
Yeah, he's a federation, man. It's
exactly.
a different...
So you don't know. So for me, De La Fuente, more than anything else, is the problem, or potentially can be the problem. But Lamine Yamal at right winger and Nico Williams at left winger, I'm all for it.
All right. Could be tournament too soon for them. Possibly. Maybe not. Croatia, those guys they never go away. Yeah, I know Mandzukic is gone, fine, but they have Budimir, who's kind of like an off-brand Mandzukic up front. In the midfield, it's the Braz, it's Kovacic, it's Pasalic, it's that man Luka Modric. They don't. I mean, we bigged them up as a tournament team, and it would be a tremendous story. For my money, they can easily trip up Italy or Spain, or maybe even both.
They will qualify second or third. They have that kind of experience that is so important. And again, their manager, Dalic, is so important, so experienced. And we saw against Portugal when they beat them how good they could play too. So, and if they would like to go to penalties, there would be a pain like that to play against.
All right. Who do we have going through? Spain, Italy, and Croatia. Do you want to pick the order?
Top three. I'll go Spain first, then Croatia, then Italy.
That sounds about right to me. Group C, England, Serbia, Denmark, and Slovenia. We did a big thing on England on Monday's podcast. Again, are you going to tell me that Southgate is a better person than he is a manager?
Exactly. Yeah, thank you very much.
And the question marks inevitably are at the back, are with his tactical choices.
Yeah.
Whether Palmer and Foden, do they play as wingers? Do they play inside? Bukayo Saka, how do the pieces fit? It's all the old stuff we've been saying for a long time.
Yeah, and all the top teams, from Germany to France to Spain to Croatia to Italy to the others, we know pretty much the starting 11 for their first game, right? Maybe there's one, there could be him or him. For England, he doesn't know himself. And I don't understand your few days before their first game and he doesn't know.
I'm okay with that, actually. But then again, I'm not an England fan. The good news is I think they're going to win the group because the rest of it, not particularly impressive.
No.
Serbia, you have a ton of big names. So
Great
much
talent.
Mitrovic and Vlahovic up front, Tadic and Milinkovic-Savic in behind. And you have Samardžić.
Yeah.
And yet, they rarely add up to the sum of their parts.
Yeah, they never qualify for the knockout stages.
The past, I don't think, is relevant to the present. They are the second most talented team in the group.
Yeah.
I think by a country mile. I would not take it for granted that they'll finish second. But then again, I look at Denmark, and a bunch of experienced workman-like defenders, not much creativity, a lot of weight on Rasmus Højlund, and Eriksen, frankly, still in there.
Yeah, still in there. I don't know. I thought they looked okay in their two friendlies. I like Skov Olsen, who I think will have a big part to play because you're right, the creativity can only come from the two wide players. Not Eriksen, really, apart from set pieces. Not Højbjerg, not a player like that. We'll see. Again, we go back to experience for them, which I think is very important. Simon Kjær at the back, Schmeichel, etc., etc. Will it be enough? Maybe to qualify for the knockouts. After that, I think they'd be too short.
We need to mention Slovenia as well. Matthias Kek, he has one of the best goalkeepers around and one of the most coveted strikers around. Those are Jan Oblak and Benjamin Sesko. In between, not much going on. We've got, again, I want to put words in your mind, but it's England to win the group and then Serbia and Denmark to battle out for the other two.
Potentially a third finish that qualifies.
And a lot of that will, of course, for those who don't know, the third place finishers all go into a pot, and whoever has the most points, the 4 teams with the most points, end up qualifying.
Yeah.